We're into the 64th season starting this year,
Yeah.
and it was all started by somebody called Kathleen Bullock. That's Kathleen Bullock, and it was during the war. She founded the 14th Rangers in Walsall during the war while all the men were away fighting, and it had one of the things that it did quite well and a lot was drama. When the men came back from the wars, they carried on doing that, and it was called St Paul's Players at that time. And that kind of went on until the vicar decided that he wanted to vet the plays before they went on. He wasn't going to have anything lewd or, you know, a bit dodgy about it. So Kathleen Bullock said, oh no, you can't vet these things. We're going to choose the place that we want to do. And they took it away from St Paul's and they went all the way around. She found a new place and eventually lighted on this, which was a tennis club before the war, and during the war it had been used as the National Fire Service took it over as a fire station. She negotiated with the mayor at the time and eventually took it over, spent 4 years doing it up, and that's what it came out to. This is in the 1950s.
That's a transformation.
And this is what it looks like now.
There we go.
So it's that's where we are now. We run 6 plays a year from the Grange Players. We also hire it out to another theatre company called the Fellowship Players.
Okay.
We do 6 and they do 4 or 5. And it's keeping going all through the year.
Exactly.
It's been redone all throughout the theatre. And we've got dressing rooms for men and for women. We've got a nice foyer now and a bar. We serve drinks during the interval, sometimes to people in their seats.
Well, I can obviously see that it's come a very long way. Now, going back to the theatre company now, so I mean, school's out, families are ready to do things, go on activities. So what productions do you have on at the moment?
At the moment, we're in the middle of the run of Oscar Wilde's most famous play, which is The Importance of Being Earnest, which is a very funny play. In fact, I've got tickets to go and see it myself tonight. Yes, that's in the middle of the run. There are a few seats left for the remainder of the week. And then we'll take a break, hand over to other theatre companies. And when we come back in September, we'll have a completely new season of plays to put on.
So what's going to be on in the new season?
The first one is called Something's Afoot, and it's a bit of a departure for us. We don't usually do musical ones, but this is a kind of spoof Agatha Christie type musical comedy, I suppose you could call it. And then we've got Write Me a Murder, which comes into November. Yeah. And See How They Run, which is in January. That's directed by Christopher Waters. It's another, well, I don't know what you call it. It's a very funny play anyway. Yeah. Party Piece comes in January. Touched that's March. Touched, which is a modern classic. Well, by getting in touch with us in the first place, we've got a membership secretary, and all the information is on our website, which is grangeplayers.co.uk. And if you send an email to membership sec at grangeplayers.co.uk, you'll get in touch with Rosemary, who will lead you through what you need to do to become a member or to collaborate in some way.
Okay, and talk us through your background. Have you always been in theatre?
Me? I started, I suppose, as a young child when my mother thought I was too energetic and sent me to ballet school, and I carried on doing that through to 11 plus when I joined the Royal Ballet School. Unfortunately, I couldn't carry on with that, but I went back to the roots of the same school that I was with before in Croydon, in Surrey, and they gave me all sorts of different jobs, and some of them were acting on stage performances in Croydon. And I just carried on doing that wherever I moved after that, to the south coast or to Maidstone, and then up here. And one day I saw an advert, and I'd been past the Grange Playhouse, which is where we're based, and I said, that looks like a theatre, perhaps I could join that. And she said, oh, I think it's been closed for years. It hasn't. It's been going for 64 years. So I joined. I went to do a play reading.
Yeah.
I liked it. The people there were friendly and welcoming, and I thought I'd like to do some of this. So I got involved in the production. At the time was Amadeus, which is all about the musical genius Wolfgang Amadeus, and that was it. That was the start of me being involved with the Grange Players.
Good for you. And I mean, now you're obviously the chairman of the theatre production, but do you actually get involved in acting in some of the plays in this current time?
I do from time to time, yes. Yeah. I've been in 4 or 5 different productions now, but not recently. Since I became chairman, I have to put my energies there, mostly.
Exactly.
But yes, I will get involved in doing some more acting later on, I expect.
Okay, and talk us briefly through the theatre scene in Walsall itself. Is it big for theatre?
Well, Walsall's only theatre is the Grange Playhouse and Broadway North, and we're always after new people to come and join. So many things need doing in the theatre, and we've only a limited number of people to do them, whether it's the bar work or lighting or building sets particularly, as well as the acting. There are other groups around. There's Walsall Aldridge Theatre, Youth Theatre. There's the Highbury Players, and there's Sutton Arts, for example, locally. But we're the only one actually in Walsall.
And just remind the audience once more how we can find out more about the company itself.
Well, you can go onto the website and you'll find all sorts of information there. There's a lot of information on there. Also about the new season's productions. But just speak to anyone. If you pop down there while there's a show going on,
Great.
I will speak to you.
Alex.